It is my pleasure to invite the acting provost of the College of Postgraduate Studies, Dr. Obi-dati.
Oh, okay, I've seen that.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, may I have a permission to start on existing protocol? With your permission, sir, I want to present the candidates for the doctoral holding school by school all together before showcasing them in batches for holding. At this time, may I request the 12 candidates from the School of Computing to rise and remain standing. May we have the 3 candidates from the School of Education and Humanity to rise and remain standing. Thank you. May we have the 9 candidates from the School of Law and Security Studies to rise and remain standing. Thank you. Then we have the 74 candidates from the School of Management Sciences to rise and remain standing. Thank you. Then we have the 12 candidates from the School of Nursing Science, rise and remain standing. Thank you. Then we have the 11 candidates from the School of Public and Allied Health to rise and remain standing. Thank you. Then we have the 6 candidates from the School of Science and Technology, rise and remain standing. Thank you. Finally, we will have the 33 candidates from the School of Social Sciences. We will have them rise and remain standing. Thank you. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I hereby present before you this morning the 160 doctoral candidates from the various schools across the university.
Please excuse. Hello, follow me.
We will have all the candidates sit down and move up on the batches of 10. And you have received this. Yes, let's have the first batch come up.
You're watching live on Control TV the graduation ceremony at Babcock University for graduate students here in Nigeria. It's been a massively attended ceremony from the amphitheater of Babcock University in Ogun State. They will be graduating in various disciplines. Prominence is of note is Dr. Austin Ebose.
Let's have the faculty members come up.
Managing
His
Director
thesis titled Network Bandwidth Monitoring Model
for energy saving and the cost reduction in wireless area networks. This thesis was ably supervised by Professor Oludele and externally examined by Professor Raphael.
Let's have a nice close-up on him. That's awesome.
A statement from the candidate. The Lord's eyes run back and forth throughout the world.
The managing director of Anchor Insurance, one of the biggest insurance companies in Nigeria. And of course, he is delighted to be graduating today. Perhaps we can have a word with him. Doctor, today is a graduation for Babcock University. We're wondering, as the managing director of one of the biggest insurance companies in Nigeria today, how does this feel for you, and what lessons are we taking away from this?
My first is, I want to thank God Almighty and the fulfillment that I have knows no bound. I also my desire to get to the highest level of my educational attainment. Knowledge is something that we all cannot to yearn for, and I love to have that knowledge, because once knowledge comes, a lot of things that you can do in your life. And I want to say this to every young person: always aspire to learn, because learning is the only way to go forward. And learning is the only thing that can change the whole world. But I also want to thank my father for bringing me to this place, and I will say, "What? Today is my holding."
Thank you very much, and congratulations again. But he's not alone here. He is along with over 300 of them are here at the Babcock University in Ogun State.
A statement from the candidate says,
a mammoth attendance, I must say, with parents, friends, well-wishers, all in attendance. We all have a very popular figure here, who is also being celebrated. He's better known as Charlie Boy in Nigeria, Boko, and astute in standing for justice, fairness, and that's him. That's Charlie Boy, very prominent Nigerian. We call him Papa, but Nigerians know him for being a man of the people. We can just as well talk to him live. Mr. Charlie Boy, Daddy, we just want to talk to you just shortly. We know that we're going through a lot in Nigeria today, but what do you make of this protest that the youths want to embark on?
That's what I've been waiting for. So when they are ready, I will show.
Why do you think you have to be part of it?
Because this is what I've been talking about for the past 45 years. And I'm hoping that in my lifetime, I start to see young people take control of their future, to retrieve their stolen future. That's what it's all about. I'm not here by nickname, by lifestyle.
And you do very well. Thank you. Charlie Boy, very prominent in Nigeria, well known for standing on the side of the people. He's also here. There's a planned protest by the youth. The president is believing that the youth shouldn't go on this strike. As a matter of fact, he has, through the Minister of Information, asked the youth to shelve the planned protest. But this is back to happening here. We want you to subscribe to Control TV. If you're watching us from anywhere across the world, subscribe to this channel for just about every news item, entertainment, lifestyle, even sports, as we graduate towards the 2024 Olympics Games in France, in Paris. But we're here in where the graduation ceremony is taking place.
When you wake up,
the postgraduate students for the year 2024.
Olufumilola Aduni is of the Department of Computer Science with thesis titled Loan Prediction Model for Credit Risk Management using.
So we're going to talk to. We're going to talk to someone who is important and very critical to this whole process. She is indeed the woman behind the success story of the managing director of Anchor Insurance, We're pleased to have you with us today here on Control TV.
Thank you.
People will hear from you. What magic did you perform to encourage our Oga, Australia process to get to this level of getting the doctorateship of philosophy and entrepreneurship from the Babcock University here in Ogun State?
I supported him as much as possible. When the journey was seeming tough, I kept on encouraging him. He could do it. It took a while, but I'm happy today that we're here to celebrate him. It took a whole lot from him. He adjusted his lifestyle, but today I'm grateful that we are celebrating this great feat.
What's next for you as a family and of course for the brand?
Oh, he's going to do another doctoral program, and the future is bright, very, very bright. We're looking up to better things, so we expect that this will happen with the working of God on it.
Thank you very much indeed. This is Bosse for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
So you heard, these are friends, well-wishers, all in a race, well-dressed, all which is the 2024 postgraduate graduation and investiture taking place in Ogun State. So these ones are ready for boarding, we've been told.
Thank you very much.
They're not the only ones. There are over 300 of them who will go through this process today. And that is the process going on now. It's the boarding process.
As the process is completed, they will come on stage to connect their class and children.
How do you feel today, sir?
Thank you.
How do you feel about this today?
Feel happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can we talk to you for a second?
That's fine.
How do you feel today?
Great.
We still
So they will also now proceed to the next stage, which is after the brooding, they proceed to the next stage. They will receive their doctoral degrees in hand. This is actually happening in earnest.
Sorry. You can go through the front.
Okay.
This is not allowed.
Oh, okay. So the head of service of Lagos State is also here.
the kind of deal we still have students from the School of Computer
Owners
whose thesis title is Smart Pre-Arrival Priority Response System for Emerging Phases.
This is another set.
Both easy and externally examined by Professor John D. O'Malley. The candidate's statement is he has made everything beautiful in his time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. Oyelakum Temitope Ayalodu is the second person in this round,
You
and
can
her
subscribe
thesis
to
is
this
titled
channel, Control TV.
Multimodal Biometric
If you haven't done so, you can just click on the button
on
and click on the
modified
notification
pipeline
button as well, so you
algorithm,
can always get
ably supervised by
information
Dr.
whenever we go live.
And
But we are already,
by Professor Funko Oladipupo of Covenant University.
most of them
Candidates
smiling brightly.
one can start late, stumble, fall down, make mistakes, look different, sound different, be mocked, be ridiculed, and still reach the finish line. What God cannot do does not exist. We move on to School of Education and Humanities, and the first candidate there is Oluwadara Deborah Ebolua, whose is evaluating the effectiveness of international sanctions and the
Pretty much well-attended ceremony.
of South Africa and North Korea, heavily supervised by Dr. Michael Kokola and examined by Professor Emmanuel Ogalao of Adeleke. Candidate statement is, for by thee I have run through a troop, and by my God I have leaped over a wall. Psalm 18:9. Languages and Literary Studies, we have the first candidate there, Adeshina Oluwagbemiro Isaiah, whose thesis title is Repression and Resistance, Intellected Prison Memoirs of Journalists in Africa, ably supervised by Professor Mobola Shotusa and examined by Professor Toyifalola of the University of Texas. Today's statement is, God's time is never late. Lizzie Poluke is the second candidate. Her thesis is titled Social Identity and Self-Esteem in Selected Nigerian Drama Texts, ably supervised by Dr. Babatunde O. Adewa and examined by Professor Ojo O. Olorunleke of Lagos State University. Candidate statement is, so then, it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that sheweth mercy. Romans 9:16. Studies, and the first candidate on the list is Adada Joseph Negedi, whose title is The Future of Oil and Gas and its Economic Implications in Nigeria, Legal Perspective, ably supervised by Professor Lubukola Olugasa and externally examined by Professor Ibironke T. Odumosu Ayano, University of Saskatchewan, Canada. The sentence, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us, Romans 8:37. Ino Olutola Oyewole is the next candidate, and his thesis is titled Developing a Legal Framework for the Integration of Wind and Solar Energy as Sources of Power in Nigeria, heavily supervised by Professor Lubukola Olugasa and externally examined by Professor A. of the University of Lagos. Candidate statement is, shall find in his Bible, in the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide him, he shall set me up upon the rock. Psalm 27. And his thesis is
a popular comedian in Nigeria. He just made his entrance into this space. He's also here. So many more people are being part of this coronation ceremony.
It is that does go with you. He felt thee or forsake thee. Deuteronomy 31:6. Akin Sawyer Olushola Adeshina is the next candidate. His thesis is titled Legal Remedy to Public Corruption in Nigeria, or heavily supervised by Professor Olusegun Olugbe and externally
It all say here, but when you go inside town, however, it's a mixed bag. with speculations on whether or not a pending protest, it's a hashtag End Bad Governance protest, whether or not it will take place on the 1st of August, has been touted by the youths in Nigeria, taking a leaf from the experience in Kenya. Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appealed just yesterday through the Minister of Information, asking the youth to shelve any planned protest, for it is never going to be in the best interest of Nigeria. Rather, he is asking the youths to follow the path of dialogue. Already, we know that the president has been making some steps. For instance, this 70,000, 100% increase from the 35,000 that was being paid to the Nigerian worker. All of that is expected to change. Also, with respect to the removal of subsidy that affects especially transportation, the president has introduced the CNG technology of gas-powered car. The bone of contention now seems to be the conversion from petrol to gas, which the minimum wage cannot afford a lot of Nigerians. To do that, you're required to have at least 400,000 naira, which is a big leap from the 70,000 naira minimum wage that's just been passed. We are here.
Pages 29 to 38. In the this is titled Authentication of Digital Evidence under the Nigerian law. It is provided by Professor Adele and externally examined by Professor Olaide Bademisi from Oyo State University. The sentence of the candidate says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. This is titled Interrogating the Intersection of International Environmental Application and Human Rights. Major Supervisor, Professor Lucia Olide, external examiner, Professor Adekula from Ibadan. The sentence of the candidate says, the fallacy of using the doctrine of privilege of contract to deprive third parties whose human rights are infringed upon as a result of investment activities from participating in IIP are hereby debunked. Patrick Lovett Ozabi, Tax Administration. This is titled an examination of the legal framework of incentivizing compliance in Lagos State. It was provided by Dr. Adebola Tayo. The Assistant Examiner of Professor Olowoba Saka Muhammad from the University of Ilorin. The sentence from the candidate says, with God, all things are possible.
You can subscribe to this channel, Control TV, if you've not done so, and also hit on the notification button.
Potency of the nation
is live from Babcock University in Ogun State, where postgraduate students are having their graduation ceremony for the year 2024.
Statement from the student says, I shall continue to put my trust in God as I love him good all time. Now move to accounting. First candidate here is Adeoye Isaiah Oluwasegun. This is titled Enterprise Risk Management and Financial Stability of Listed Insurance Companies in Nigeria. It was supervised by Dr. Eti Ajibade and was externally examined by Professor Kende J. Sami from Lagos State University.
Almost 0 to
The sentence from the candidate says, it is not of him that will it, not of him that run it, but God has showed mercy. Romans 9 verse 16. May the name of God be glorified. Adeoye Joel Oluwasegun. This is titled Artificial Intelligence and Electronic Fraud in Selected Listed Deposit Money Banks in Nigeria. Major Supervisor, Professor Sunday Owolabi. External Examiner was Professor John Iyedilihu from Abia State University. Ajala Michael,
batch goes to be hooded.
This is titled Tax Justice and Tax Compliance in Southern Nigeria.
Education is another level, getting so many several octaves in, and it goes into record. Some of the best engineers in the world, some of the best physicists in the world, all from Nigeria.
Major professor
in Africa. So the whole is getting even fuller and fuller.
This is trying to bring banking practices
Charlie Boy,
10
years.
Major professor, Professor Apollos and Mobia. Yesterday examining
Charlie Boy, the father of the masses, has just spoken to us saying that he will join the youths if they go out to protest on August the 1st. He's here with his family.
His title is Forensic Accounting Techniques, Public Governance and Economic Crimes in Development Banks in Nigeria. It was provided by Professor Apollos Omobia and the Secretary Examiner of Professor Godwin related from VCT University. This man Ebenezer, proving the difference of God in the movement of destiny.
We'll come back to the
next section. God, nothing is impossible. Look what verse 27.
I'll give you a little closer shot, maybe find one or two persons
tax revenue, governance, and environmental sustainability, SSA. Because the rest of Professor Samuel Dada, external examiner, Professor Olabisi Jayola from Federal College of Agriculture and Agriculture. Extended from the candidate, blessed the Lord worship, blessed holy name. My soul rejoices in God my Savior. He that is great has done mighty things. Holy is his name. Praise be unto the God of Trinity.
The candidates are now recorded.
So this is the hooding ritual. They are now being hooded, after which they will receive their doctoral certificates at hand. It's a moment of joy for a lot of them, an accomplishment that was no bound. They have joined the League of Academics in Nigeria and across the world. So this is an example of how it looks like. Typically operated in Nigeria, a graduation ceremony for postgraduate students in just about every other university, but today it's happening for Babcock University in Ogun State, a neighboring state to Lagos. So you can imagine that a lot of people, it's a mix of both Lagosians and citizens from Ogun State, where the former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, also an academic, with vested interest to see the success of Babcock University. It's a pride. So these are live pictures that we're bringing to you live on Control TV here. Some of those persons that we spoke to earlier gave us the assurance that this whole place is 100% security, top-notch security to guide against everyone. Not that there is any threats anyway, but yes, from the drone shots we were able to capture earlier, see how the whole university community is filled with pride, and everyone working, giving their own best to the ceremony is guarded, and it's regarded as a huge success at the end of the day. is the next set. This is the next set that will be hooded.
And the next candidate is the thesis title is Industrial Performance.
So they hold the hood on their hands like that. That's the hood. That's common when they will have to make hooded. Smiling, beaming with smiles, as it were.
The next candidate is Diana Peter Sunday with the thesis quoted on an exchange group. And the major supervisor is Professor Olajimi Ade, excellent professor of
Giving you live pictures for the graduation ceremony back in Ogun State. And that's much we committed to bringing to live. As much as you can see, just also let's hit the 20K mark. Subscribe to this channel so we can hit the 20K mark. This is the channel meant for you. We have got royalties here. Head of service, Lagos State, authorizing view of him. All the royal fathers.
And the external examiner is Professor Julius,
distinguished scholars
from University of Lagos. The sentence of the candidate says, "Thou shalt increase my greatness, and of me on every side." 1%. KDB. Kasim Shamsuddin Enge is the next candidate, and his thesis title is Statutory Auditors Going Consent Judgment and Business Failure and Company on Nigerian Exchange. The major supervisor, Professor Chuji Shinobola, Professor Sunday K. Oluboyega from Federal University of Agriculture, Babcock, is the external examiner. And a sentence from the candidate states, the principal goal of education in the school should be creating men and women who are capable of knowing things, not simply repeating what other nations have done. They imagine exactly what Babcock University has achieved with its PhD program. Ugode Olubunmi Adewale is the next candidate with the thesis title End Quality, Sustainable Reporting, and Financial Stability of Selected Non-Financial Firms set in Nigeria. The external examiner is Professor Ali Katundo from Bayero University. And the sentence from the candidate says, I know that whatsoever does do well, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, or anything taken from it. And God do it, that man should fail before. Ecclesiastes 3:14. Ogushola Oluwatosin Adetutu is the next candidate from accounting. And the thesis title is Strategic Management Account Practices and Stakeholders Value Creation of the Listed Deposit Money Banks in Nigeria. And the major supervisor is Dr. Grace Ogundajo, and the external examiner is Professor Collins. Statement from the candidate, he has made everything beautiful in his time. Ecclesiastes 3 verse. Okuadega Adeleye is the next candidate with a thesis title Quality, Corporate Governance, and Firm Value of Quoted Manufacturing Firms in Nigeria. And the next one is Dr. Ayodeji T. Ajibade, Professor O. Oluyombo from Pan Atlantic University is the external examiner. And the sentence from the candidate, this is more than one. Olabuju Ayola Oluwabusola is the next candidate, and the thesis title is Corporate Governance and Organizational Performance of Consumer Goods Companies Listed in Nigeria. Professor Sunday A. Owolabi is the major supervisor, and the external examiner is Professor O. Oluyombo, and the sentence from the candidate. Now to me, who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. Ephesians 3:20. Olojede Samson the next candidate with the thesis title Tax Revenue and Sustainable Development in Nigeria. A major supervisor is Professor Clifford I. Akintoye. Professor Bukola Uweke from Covenant University is the external examiner, and his sentence from the candidate states, all things work together for good. Romans 8, verse 28.
Candidates can now be voted. Thank you.
Again, that's the voting ceremony. The next batch.
The next candidates can come.
Financial performance and credit risk management of listed deposit money by Nigeria. This is supervised by Professor Sunday Owolabi and the external examiner.
It's going to be a long drawn day. We'll get back to you. You're watching live pictures of the graduation ceremony of the Babcock University for postgraduate students. This is Control TV who advised that you can also.
This candidate, Olunuga David, has his thesis titled Financial DE is the chief factor in industrial performance in sub-Saharan African countries. From the Department of Accounting, this degree was supervised by Professor Ishola R. Akintoye, and the external examiner is Professor Francis Emeni of the University of Benin. This candidate says, any success without the living God is a glorified failure. Also from the Department of Accounting, we have Omi-Diji David Olugbenga, whose thesis is titled Ethical Values, Fraud Inducement Avoidance and Corporate Fraud in Selected Companies on the Nigerian Exchange, supervised by Professor Thesis been externally examined by Professor Rosemary Obasi of the Benson Idahosa University. The candidate says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Oshio Olalekan Olawale is of the Department of Accounting, whose thesis is titled Tax Revenue and Sustainable Development in Sub-Saharan African Countries. This thesis was supervised by Professor Festus F. Adebiye and externally examined by Professor Francis Emeni of the University of Benin. This candidate says, what seems impossible with men, with God, all things are possible. The next candidate is Okuaba Okezien of the Department of Accounting. His thesis is titled Tax Aggressiveness and Organizational Performance of Listed Manufacturing Companies in Nigeria. This thesis was supervised by Dr. A.T. Ajibade, assisted by Professor A.E.P. Ayi, and the external examiner is Professor John Ihendini of the Michael Okpara University. And the candidate has this to say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. This is from the Department of Business Administration and Marketing. And the candidate is Adetunobi Ololade Adetukumbo of the Department of Business Admin and Marketing. The thesis is titled Competitive Positioning and Organizational Performance of Selected Insurance Companies in Lagos State, Nigeria. This thesis was examined by Professor Mokhtar Hilaru of the Bayero University, Kano, and is supervised by Professor A.D. Adefu. The candidate says, it always seems impossible until it is done, quoting the famous Nelson Mandela. The next candidate is Akilo Shoye Olarewaju Olumide, the Department of Business and Marketing Management, with the thesis titled Tax Digitalization and Tax Revenue Generating System, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Abuja, Nigeria. He was supervised by Professor Adeshoga D. Adefulu, and the external examiner is Professor Mokhtar Hilaru of the Bayero University, Kano. The candidate said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The next candidate is Barreto Omolara Abidemi of the Department of Business Administration. Our area of specialization is Human Resources Management, with the thesis titled Workplace Diversity and Organizational Outcomes of Selected Private Universities in Ogun State, Nigeria. The thesis was supervised by Professor Margaret Kabwo and externally examined by Professor Anthony of Covenant University. The next candidate is Dada Olusegun Ayodeji of the Business Administration and Marketing Department, with the thesis titled Social Entrepreneurship, Social Capital, and Performance of Cooperative Societies in Ogun State, examined by Professor T.O. Inudu of the Enugu State University. The candidate says MSMEs are the bedrock of social economic development and sustenance in Nigeria. A well-developed cooperative movement will water its. The next candidate is Ebose Augustine Osera of the Department of Business. The next candidate
The next batch of candidates will file up shortly.
Of business administration. This specialist in entrepreneurship and small business management has his thesis titled Entrepreneurial Leadership, Orientation and Growth of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises in Southwest Nigeria. This thesis was supervised by Dr. Emmanuel Obi-dati and externally examined by Professor Umar Bunu of the University of Ilorin. The candidate states, with men, this is impossible, but with God, all things are.
Go straight from now.
Nneka Mary Rose is still from the Department of Business Administration and Marketing, and her thesis is titled Socially Responsible Human Resource Management and Outcomes of Public Servants with Disabilities in Southwest Nigeria, ably supervised by Dr. Olive Imuta and externally examined by John Ndama of Adamawa State University. Candidate statement is simply short. Dio Gracias. Okegbemiro Sunday Adekunle is the next candidate, and his thesis is titled Strategic to you by prophecy of the eldership. 1 Timothy 4:10-16. Abiodun Taiwo is the next candidate from this department, and his thesis is titled Portfolio Entrepreneurship and Business Growth of Selected Manufacturing Small and Medium Enterprises in Lagos State, Nigeria. Heavily supervised by Dr. Nanle Magaji and externally examined by Professor Patrick O. Oladele of Federal University, Oye-Ekiti. And the candidate statement is, through it all, the righteous right hand of the Lord has held me, Isaiah 42:6. Olowe Akintola Emmanuel is also from the Department of Business Administration and Marketing, and his thesis is titled Strategic Improvisation and Performance of Selected Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises in Lagos State, Nigeria, supervised by Dr. Victoria Obaba and examined by Professor Omar Gu of the University of Ilorin. Candidate statement is, help others to rise. Greatness comes not from a position, but from helping to build the future. Oluwasanya Adewale Tony is the next candidate, and his thesis is titled Entrepreneurship Education, Entrepreneurial Outcomes of Selected Private Universities in Southwest Nigeria, heavily supervised by Professor Oyoye and externally examined by Professor Isaac Onibide of Macpherson University. Candidate statement is that they may know that this is thy hand, that thou, Lord, hast done it. Psalm 109, verse 27. Omodemuke Olanike Naomi is the next candidate and has is titled Learning Orientation, Self-Efficacy, and Competitive Advantage of Selected Money Deposit Bank in Lagos State, Nigeria. Ably supervised by and externally examined by Professor Isaac A. Ayondele of University of Uyo. The candidate statement is, you do not need to be the best to succeed, simply do your best. I came, I saw, and I conquered. Omonijo Oluwatimilehi Sunday is the next candidate, and his thesis is titled Entrepreneurial Mindset, Competence and Organizational Outcomes of Selected Fast-Moving Goods Firms in Lagos State, Nigeria. This thesis is heavily supervised by Professor Johnson A. White and externally examined by Professor and State University. And the candidate statement is for the vision for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Administration and Marketing, Dada Olusegun Ayode. Still from Business Administration and Marketing, Dada Olusegun Ayode with the thesis title Social Entrepreneurship, Social Capital, and Performance of Societies in Ogun State, Nigeria. And the major supervisor is Johnson A. Goake, while the external examiner is CEO Enodu from Enugu State University. A sentence from the candidate reads, SMEs are the bedrock of social and economic development and sustenance in Nigeria, a well-developed cooperative movement with one aim. Still from Business Administration and Marketing, Oyeyemi Oshola is the next candidate, and this title branding strategies and performance of selected food and beverages manufacturing companies in Lagos State, Nigeria. The major supervisor is Professor Adeshoga D. Adefulu, and the external examiner is Professor N.K.O. Obafemi Awolowo University. And a sentence from the candidate states thus: let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16.
Congratulations.
Praise God.
Austin. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Here, next set of graduates waiting to be hooded. If you have not subscribed to this channel, Control T, you can also hit on the notification button just so anytime we go live, you get a prompt. Reaching you from Babcock University in Ogun State, where the 2024 postgraduate graduation ceremony is taking place across several disciplines to usher in this new academics into the organization friends and well-wishers in royal fathers, political watchers, civil rights activists, representatives are all here from Lagos, Ogun State, and across the world to be part of this epoch-making event.
A statement from the candidate is, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Otebade Taiwo Olatunde is the next candidate, and his thesis is titled Industrial Relations Practices and Performance of the Healthcare Industry in Southwest Nigeria, ably supervised by Dr. Victoria Ohapa and externally examined by Professor Patrick O. Oladele of Federal University, Ibiti. And the candidate's statement is, the greatest risk in life is never to take any risk. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. All thanks to Almighty God for always giving me the courage to face the world.
Thank you so much.
Finally, in this round of 10, we have Oyelade, Kehinde, and Tony, whose thesis is titled Entrepreneurial Innovation and Performance of Selected Small and Medium Enterprises in Lagos State, Nigeria. And this thesis was heavily supervised by Dr. Victoria Ohapa and externally examined by Professor Helen A. Andor of Kaduna State University. A statement from the candidate is, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. Psalm 121 verses 1 and 2.
This is from the Department of Business Administration and Marketing. And the candidate is also candidate, Praise Jack.
The last candidate in this round of 10 is me, Oluwakolakemi Miriam. And this title is Relationship Marketing and Performance of Selected Public Teaching Hospitals of Southwest Nigeria. Heavily supervised by Professor Margaret Nkabwa and examined by Professor Kehinde Oshotmi of
62 minutes plus, we've been running this live pictures for you from Babcock University in Ogun State, asking you to also subscribe to the channel. You have the prompts, hit on the notification button. You have the prompts as soon as we go live for the next session, which will be a reception in honor of Austin Ebose, the managing director of Anko Insurance in Lagos, one of the biggest insurance companies in Nigeria. But his family and friends are all here. We also have civil activists, lawyers, doctors, government representatives, royal fathers from Ogun State as well as from Lagos State to be part of this epoch meetings in Ogun State today. We'll be closing the live cast for now to resume much later in the day when the reception ceremony for this epoch-making event will be. I'm Yemba Umar signing out now for Control TV.